Ladies and gentlemen, we're one episode to go into WrestleMania. A huge main event matchup is still to come. First Blood, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, a rivalry that has spanned for years and years. It culminates tonight in a First Blood matchup just days away from the grand stage. That is WrestleMania.
Shawn, where's my phone? Have you seen it? Where the hell is it? Where's my phone? I need to call Randy. Jesus Christ.
What the hell's that about? Well, Shawn obviously waiting for his First Blood match tonight, but the commissioner, rather than focusing on the main event of WrestleMania that he's got some stake in, obviously, he wants to phone Randy. I can only assume that means Randy Orton, but what about? That's the question. Well, in this part we're going to hear from Randy Orton in an interview segment from a local bar where we're doing promotional work, but right now, this man isn't about promoting himself. Well, in one sense he's not, in another sense he is. He wants to call himself the Messiah? Well, in that way, he certainly is promoting himself. Bray Wyatt, this godlike figure among many have been captivated by his words. And at WrestleMania, he faces Sting. However, Sting, despite having mind games being played against him, Sting retaliated with some mind games of his own this past week on Metal that left Wyatt in a bit of a shock. And that's an understatement, folks. Well, Sting, it appeared he fell from the rafters and then it looked as if he was up on top of the Titantron, but now Wyatt just days away from WrestleMania and, oh hang on, well, the lights have gone out here and this is what happened on Metal. And, well, Bray Wyatt, he's as shocked as we are, but the question is Sting here? And for a minute I thought that was a mannequin, but that's the real thing. That is Sting, and Sting is back with a vengeance. Sting going after Bray Wyatt, but Wyatt sends him into the corner. But now Sting moves out of the way, and the Stinger splash. And Sting has him held by the head, and the Scorpion Death Drop. An effigy of Sting was burnt on fire by Bray Wyatt. That symbolism that meant he wanted to destroy the legacy of Sting. Well, at WrestleMania, Sting is screaming to the heavens that he is not going to let anybody walk all over his legacy. And if anything was to go by this past week on Metal, Sting is not going to let Bray Wyatt off scot-free. Wyatt has his demeanour, Wyatt has his things that he likes to say. He likes to promote himself as this godlike figure, but Sting is going to try and put a stop to it. Sting takes his vendetta against Wyatt, who tries to make a name for himself at WrestleMania against Sting. And well, speaking of WrestleMania, this huge matchup that's been brewing for weeks, a last man standing match between Batista and Randy Orton. There was a no physicality rule in place, however last week Randy Orton decided to disobey that because the commissioner apparently had made a typo that meant only Batista would get punished if he hit Randy Orton. So Randy Orton hit Batista, and now we're going to go live to an interview. This is a local bar where we're doing promotional work for WrestleMania. There is Randy Orton. Mr. Orton, I've got to say, why did you attack Batista in the way you did last week? Well, I should know, because, you know, you're a Viper. That's what you do. You're a cold, calculated individual, and at WrestleMania, you take on...
I'm sorry, Randy, we're going to have to cut this interview short. The commissioner's on the phone, and he's asking to speak to you. He doesn't sound good. He sounds petrified. You better talk to him.
Well, I was about to... Commissioner on the phone, what's this about?
Oh my god, thank god you picked up. Why have nobody told you? Look, listen, there's no time to ramble. Look, Randy, the contract you signed, the no physicality rule, you know, the one that said if you attacked either one another, and then last week I said that there was a typo that meant only Batista would get punished. Well, Batista found the contract and he found that I hadn't signed it. I'm sorry. I haven't signed the contract, okay? I forgot, I left it too late, and the typo, it doesn't even matter now, because he sounded pissed. The contract's gone, I think Batista took it, and I don't know, but I think he's on his way. I think he's on his way there. Hello? Hello?
Wait, so the no physicality contract, not only was there a typo, but it wasn't even signed. So there ain't going to be no fights with Batista, and Batista has apparently tracked down that bar where Orton's at, but Orton now attacking Batista before WrestleMania, and folks, this is an establishment we rented out. Oh, and again set into one of those massive posters. And again into that Pepsi machine. This is at a local bar where we're doing some promotional work for WrestleMania 2. And Orton apparently was scheduled to do an interview, but Batista tracked him down and a right to the eyes. And, oh, Jesus! Oh my God! Just both men through the window of that bar. Well, we only rented that place out to do some promotional work, and, well, apparently they've destroyed the establishment. There's chairs, tables knocked over, and they've just destroyed one of those windows. And Orton now running away. Orton thought he had Batista's number when he breached the no physicality rule, but apparently there was no such thing in place. The commissioner didn't sign the contract. Batista found out, and, well, no punishments for either men, but punishment is certainly coming at WrestleMania. And you want to talk about punishment? The First Blood matchup is up next, and it's Triple H going one-on-one with Shawn Michaels. They want to put the whipping on each other, and that happens in our main event before WrestleMania next. And WrestleMania is 1 week from today, and you've got to follow Dynamic Artifacts on Instagram. They made the WrestleMania logo, you'll see it now. They've done a ton of amazing edits, and you know what else is going to be amazing? Well, WrestleMania, of course. A stacked card from head to toe, including a Hardcore Championship Invitational. The 5 men who've been gunning for that title are William Regal, Finlay, Daniels the champion, Akio, and Sabu. That title's been like a hot potato. And are there going to be more people into that matchup? It's Come As You Are Invitational for the Hardcore title at WrestleMania. And it's for the X Division Championship. Austin Aries, the only X Division champion in NLW history, puts it on the line against the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan. They traded submission holds earlier tonight, but what will it take to win the X Division Championship at WrestleMania? That's the question. Can Drew Galloway be the first ever person to defeat Kurt Angle at WrestleMania? Angle's never been pinned, he's never been submitted, but Galloway is an up-and-comer who, with the right amount of luck and skill, can defeat Angle in my opinion, but Angle is going to put up one hell of a fight, there's no doubt about it. And this matchup has just been changed since earlier tonight. It is now a triple threat for the Women's Championship. Charlotte and Trish Stratus could get along as a team. AJ Lee took advantage of that earlier tonight and won the opportunity to compete for the championship at WrestleMania in that triple threat matchup. And tables, ladders, chairs, NLW tag team titles on the line. Nobody was here tonight. They are all waiting and probably nervous as hell for this TLC matchup for the tag team titles. The Brood, the Bucks, Raven and RVD, and the Animals battle for the tag team gold. We saw Sting return triumphantly earlier this evening after sending numerous mind games towards the way of Bray Wyatt. It's been a battle of the minds. However, at WrestleMania, it's a battle of the fists. Brave, and you got to be brave to take on Bray Wyatt. There's no doubt about it. But Sting will do so. The chaos in this feud is off the charts. They faced each other in a match that saw Batista leave NLW at the last WrestleMania, and it's a last man standing matchup. They went through a window earlier tonight. What will they do to put each other down? Last man standing at WrestleMania. It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. AJ Styles the champion, The Undertaker the Royal Rumble winner, and the challenger. AJ Styles found out what it takes to defeat The Undertaker, and he found out what it's like to be on the end of an ass whipping from The Undertaker earlier tonight for the world title on the line at WrestleMania. And it's the biggest matchup in NLW history. Elimination match for control of No Limits Wrestling. If the NWO win, they take control of the company. If NLW win, the commissioner leaves as commissioner and the NWO must disband. It's WrestleMania and it's live next week. And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final matchup before WrestleMania. It is a First Blood matchup. That means there are no pinfalls, there are no submissions, there are no disqualifications, and there are no countouts. The only way to win is to make your opponent bleed, and Shawn Michaels will do that gladly. It's a well-documented past, the way that Shawn Michaels betrayed Triple H at the Royal Rumble, effectively cementing himself as the leader of the NWO in principle. After all, he's arguably the most experienced member of the NWO. And at WrestleMania, it is the most important matchup in NLW history. And as you know, if NWO win, they take control of the company, but if they lose, they got to disband. And Shawn Michaels knows that, and he wants to keep himself in check for this matchup, not want to get injured before the grand stage and be a detriment to the team. However, Triple H doesn't care about any of those. All he cares about is fighting. He is in no mood to wrestle, he is in a mood to fight. And what a better environment than this First Blood matchup before WrestleMania, just days away. And it's well documented, the bloody battles in fact, that Triple H and Shawn Michaels have had in NLW history. We remember the infamous Hell in a Cell for the World Heavyweight Championship. In fact, even as early as last year, at last year's WrestleMania for the world title, Triple H taking the world title from Shawn Michaels, and that's obviously going to stick in his craw. Not going to forget about that. And Triple H now motions to Shawn, and they're not even going to lock up. Again, why would you? This isn't a wrestling matchup, this is the first blood matchup. Shawn Michaels sends him over, and then a dropkick to Triple H. And now Shawn goes over the top. And Triple H, although he's had some ego problems with CM Punk as of late, Triple H is here tonight, and hopefully he's going to keep his head in the game heading into WrestleMania. Sending Shawn Michaels off the barricade, and remember the game of this matchup, no pun intended, is to make your opponent bleed. And again, anything goes as Triple H has that trash can in the ring and delivers that trash can right to the skull of Shawn Michaels, in that aluminium. If it splits, it can cut your forehead. But it doesn't look like Shawn Michaels bleeding yet. The referee's going to continue to check it. And now Triple H going for the pedigree here. Or maybe Shawn Michaels going for the super kick, but now there's that uppercut. And it was more of a palm thrust that time, looking to break his nose, and that's another way to make him bleed. And now Michaels whips him hard into the corner and delivers an elbow straight to the back. And again, you want to wear down your opponent, but the aim of the game is to make your opponent bleed. And well, Shawn Michaels now doing that effectively. Here's a steel chair and another chair shot to the back. And now this might do it. Oh my god. Well, that could very well have busted him open, but I think he may have landed on the top of his head. Still, it's not good. But I don't think he's bleeding yet. That DDT on the steel chair, and now that knee to the face. And now kicking him away again. Michaels going to the top rope, but Triple H there to stop him in his tracks. And now that steel chair shot to the kidneys, wearing him down. And not only do you want to win this matchup, you want to go to WrestleMania with your opponent in a worse off state. Grabs him by the throat, and with such force and velocity, sends him headfirst into the corner chair. Oh my, and again. The way that Shawn Michaels back, and it's well documented the back problems that Shawn Michaels has had, kept him out of action for nearly 5 years. And that suplex onto the trash can, not going to do any favours. Triple H going for the pedigree, but act of desperation by Shawn to low blow him. And again, it's anything goes as he kicks up, punches him again, crawls underneath him, but there's that chair shot again. And how is Triple H not bleeding? Well, he's certainly going to cause some internal injuries with that, the rim of that chair in the kidneys that time. And Shawn Michaels now ripping the belt off of his own trousers and using it as a weapon to whip Triple H here. And nearly 2 years ago, the roles were reversed. Shawn Michaels was the one being cheered against the villainous Triple H, but how times have changed. Money and power have corrupted both men arguably, but more so obviously in Shawn Michaels, who's joined the NWO, looking for power in this company. And oh my, well, here's that ladder coming into play and driving it into the skull, and the nose and the facial features are going to be messed up for Triple H, no doubt about it. But Triple H catches Shawn Michaels out, who was celebrating prematurely, and the catapult in the ladder is going to go some way to making him bleed, but how far? That's the question. Michaels rolls back in the ring to try and find solace, but the game back on him, and the cerebral assassin, cerebral in his tactics, delivering that ladder in the suplex position to Shawn Michaels. And again, looking to bust up his face with that high knee. Could have broken his nose. You make that nose bleed, you're going to win the matchup. Simple as that. And there are no flashy moves in this matchup. The aim of the game is to make your opponent bleed, and well, Triple H trying to do that now. Intended to do that with those steel steps, but heavy as they were, Shawn Michaels with that drop toe hold, and steps in the ring now, and oh my god. And now Shawn Michaels with that chair, and Triple H moved out of the way, and that could have busted up his entire skull. And Shawn drops the chair as Triple H wisely rolls to the outside. And Shawn Michaels goes after the attack, and instead gets spine busted on the floor for his troubles, and there's no give on the outside there. Concrete. Both of these men on opposing teams at WrestleMania. High stakes matchup. But again, this is arguably another high stake. Oh, hang on! Oh, and I was about to say, wait, doesn't matter what I was about to say. Look at this! The commissioner driving Triple H's head into that steel post, and there are no disqualifications. And now Triple H takes care of the commissioner, and now that pedigree on the steel steps, and surely Michaels is bleeding that. Wait, the match is over. Oh, and now I see. Oh my God, now I see indeed. Look at the face of Triple H, a bloody mess. And Shawn Michaels didn't bleed from that pedigree on the steel steps, but Triple H is bleeding profusely at the moment. And maybe we're going to find out exactly where this happened. But again, there was a spine bust. Oh, it must have been here. It must have been here. That was when the commissioner came in from behind, driving Triple H's skull into the ring post, and that must have what done it. Busted him open, but Shawn Michaels could have been busted open from that pedigree on the steps. And look at Balor and Chris Jericho, the only other two members that are still intact at the moment. And they're protesting again, and oh, come on. And here come the outsiders, and there's Rollins and R-Truth, and now every member of the NWO going after three guys. But wait a minute. And look who's back to try and even the odds. Hardy, who was assaulted earlier tonight, prevented from being in the six-man tag earlier by the Big Show. But even Hardy, it's still 4 on 6. And it's still the numbers advantage to the NWO. Well, look who's here! And CM Punk! We haven't seen him since he kicked Triple H's head in. And I told him, personally, not to show up unless he was going to fight for NLW, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Oh no. Oh damn it, no. Is he the secret weapon? Is he betrayed us? No! It was a ruse! Punk lulling the commissioner into a false sense of security and showing he is NLW through and through. But again, look at this! A mass what the hell's that? Well, a mass brawl in the ring! And, oh my lord, look at that! Is that... That's Dean Ambrose! What the hell? I thought he was arrested earlier tonight for assaulting the commissioner. Apparently he's been freed, and oh, he's going after him again. Ambrose driving the police van into the arena. He's been released on bail apparently, and he's going to fight for NLW, the most important match in NLW history, WrestleMania. Don't miss it.